afraid to step in and engage Washington.
I'm telling you, it was the counter hook. It was the counter hook that shook him. He was catching. Look, Deontay has one thing. That's a big right hand. You know, it is a huge right hand, though. The power is real, like I said earlier in the show.
Klitschko would kill him.
I understand that, but you still cannot say that Deontay does not have the right hand to hurt Klitschko. I believe he does. Will it?
Oh, I think
will
he's,
it
I think he's got a legit. Wait, I'll say this. I think he's legit heavyweight
That's
power.
all I'm saying. The power is real, but there was way more flaws that were exposed last night than his power. We've always known.
Let's go with the easy one, okay? And I saw it easily by the fifth round. He was starting to gas out at round 5. He looked tired to me. Look, he's lucky he got that right hand. If this fight goes on based on the scorecards, Washington's a live underdog after the 5th round.
I had him up 4-1.
Well, okay.
Or 3-1. I guess it's 3-1.
You want the conspiracy? You want the conspiracy?
Oh, they didn't have that. I understand.
No, they had it 2-2 going into 5.
Exactly, yeah.
Was it 3-1? Was it maybe? Yeah, you can make an argument across the board. 2-2 is even fair. And even going into that 5th round, look, there's not a lot of activity happening out of Deontay until the big right hand.
Virgil Hunter brought up the size of Washington being it looked like
a real heavyweight.
Yeah.
His first real heavyweight.
Yes.
Yep.
It seemed like Deontay didn't know what to do with the guy that was 6'6". They talked about Deontay's eyes. Finally, Lee. Somebody talked about the blinking, about how you cannot blink listen to Virgil. Listen, I think it's like round 3 or 4. Okay, he talked about Deontay backing up and how a jab right hand could land on that easily if Washington would start throwing it more. There was a lot of flaws that a world-class trainer was bringing up on a guy who's 37-0-36. 37-0-36. He's not on the pound-for-pound ranking. He's not rated number 1. Like I said, who is it right now? Isn't it Anthony Joshua? I believe it's Anthony Joshua is rated number 1, a guy at 18-0. The boxing world hasn't given it to Deontay yet. No one's giving him...
We're not going to.
No, Lee, because I'm telling you, he has to fight guys in the top 10, and I still don't know if I would put my money. I believe his power is real. Don't think I put my money on Deontay Wilder.
Okay, let's talk about any of the other champions, all the way down to WBO.
The end of that fight was so ghetto. The end of that fight, you want to know, Lee, it looked like a fucking prison break. Like, what was he doing? A forearm to the back, a hit to the back of the head, 2 punches that, it looked so amateur. The referee's like tackling him. The ref.
Oh no! It was awful.
Let me tell you, people. He doesn't get away with that shit in Las Vegas, and he doesn't get away with that shit in the UK. Go fight Anthony Joshua and hit him in the back of the head, and watch what those refs will do to you. You're disqualified. That was a joke, okay? And I'm sitting there watching Lee, the first right hand. I'm like, that was beautiful. That first right hand. It wasn't a 6-inch punch, but it was short. It was compact. Boom! Down goes Washington. He finally landed it. It was a nice one. That's when I said, okay, the power is real. That wasn't one of his freaking bow and arrow punches or Hollywood punches. No, that was a real shot, and it dropped a 6'6" man. Now, after that, they couldn't even replay it. It was so ugly. Don't you guys understand? Everyone's been talking about one punch. That wasn't the end of the fight. Why can't anyone replay the end of the fight? Because it was ghetto. Because that was a prison break. That wasn't boxing. What, you hurt him? So now you're just going to, what are you, screaming bomb squad or whatever? Come on. No.
Thank God you're ethnic and you said that and I didn't. And I'll qualify for anybody listening. He's in Oakland as well. Andrew can say those things. I'll come off as white and a hater, but compose yourself.
What do you mean? Why? What did I say that was wrong? That was ghetto?
The ghetto thing.
Oh, hell no. That was ghetto. That was jumping over the ropes, yelling at the crowd.
Hey,
come on, get out of here.
Pose yourself as a champion.
This isn't gonna work. In the UK, they would have fucking broke that fight up, probably deducted him a point, and gave Joshua 5 minutes.
It was Deontay Wilder, to me, has done nothing to demonstrate. Let's just go through it. He can't beat Parker. He can't beat Joshua. That's it. You know what? He'll probably get a shot at the vacant WBA title, right? And it'll be against literally nobody, and he'll pick up 2 of the titles.
Lee, forgive me for not watching Parker Ruiz. I haven't seen that fight, but there was reports that said Ruiz won that fight. I have not watched it. I will have to go back. I don't know who Joshua Parker is. Big surprise that that's the guy they're going after, right? That no one fucking knows.
But of course, another guy out of LA, out of Las Vegas.
No, Parker, bro. That's the dude from New Zealand or whatever.
Oh, yeah, but he's living in Vegas now. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He lives in Vegas.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. I'm not making that up. Yeah, he's a former New Zealand guy. He's training in Vegas. Here's the thing. I get it, and I get why you go after Parker. If you can get the WBA title sliced onto there, I don't know if they have enough political pull, right, to actually pull off getting the WBA title tossed into that. Deontay Wilder could wind up here being a fairly unified champion before he has to face Klitschko.
Or Joshua. No,
Klitschko's going to win.
Oh, will you stop?
I'm just telling you how it is.
All right.
I like Joshua a lot. I see he's Evander Holyfield. He is.
Klitschko.
He's England's answer to Evander Holyfield.
The young Klitschko, I don't know who Klitschko is, but the young Klitschko would defeat Wilder in 5 rounds. I don't see the fight going 5. Wilder doesn't know what to do with the guy that can stand up to him. I'm telling you.
Anthony Joshua at 6'6", coming in full weight, full everything. Dude, that's a lot of human being. And he can fight. He's world class. I mean, if there was anybody who could clear out the division, it should be Anthony Joshua. I just think it just shows the level of class for this guy by taking on Vladimir Klitschko.
He seems like he's
Oh, they got the WBA. Okay, so it's official. The WBA title is going to be added to theirs. Cool. So it'll be a WBA IBF. So you'll have, in theory, the title split between 2 fighters.
And Showtime owns them both. And that's what's scary for PBC and Wilder. I'm telling you. Showtime, they're going to see that the UK, this guy sold 90,000 seats. He's a pay-per-view fighter. He's built like a boxing god. There's not a market that wouldn't sell Joshua right now. He's been on all covers of magazines already. Okay? Everything's already. Deontay's fucking tattooed from his neck all the way down. Comes, sunglasses in the buildings. Oh, I guess Joshua did too. Never mind. He had sunglasses in the mosque, right? Come on now, these guys. But there is a bigger market for Anthony Joshua than there is Deontay. I'm sorry.
No, and here's the thing. Look at it. Look at who's going to come out of this more respectfully, right? So Anthony Joshua fighting Vladimir Klitschko, which is just a straight-up war. They managed to tag on the vacant IBO heavyweight title, the vacant WBA title, which, by the way, that's what you can do when you have political power.
The way, Lee.
And you've got the IBF title on the line. You're going to have a unified champion come out of this, and Deontay Wilder is going to fight, respectfully, the WBO champion, and he'll have 2 belts. Now, I would think that Deontay Wilder wins his fight, and whoever comes out of Joshua, Klitschko, whatever, right? Then you have 1 unification bout. We could theoretically, before the end of the year, have 1 heavyweight champion who has a staggering 5 championships around his waist at one time.
Yes, and Showtime owns them both.
Great.
And if to me, that means the fight happens.
Wait, and here's the thing. I know that I ride the jock. I'll say it. I ride the jock of Vladimir Klitschko. I do. I don't think he gets enough respect for a 12-year title reign as the undisputed unified world champion, but that's fine. If Joshua gets it, Who in the top 10 could stop Joshua if he had all those belts?
Lee, hey, they're saying he's the future. He looks like the future. It's right there.
27 years old, 6'6", about 50 pounds of this creature. Like, everything he does will be held at, like, the O2 Outdoor Arena, right?
Or Wembley.
Wembley. Yeah, he's doing this one at Wembley. So every one of his fights will be Wembley caliber if he has all 5 of the belts.
The way the UK fans support their fighters, can you imagine if he defeats Klitschko and Wilder is still an undefeated American? Do you know how much they're going to pay to watch these two fight in the UK? Lee, it's the biggest.
Deontay has to take that fight. You can't pass up that payday.
No, there is no way Showtime would allow Al Heyman to dictate this Anthony Joshua's career. Anthony Joshua, it would be a mega star over there.
It would be huge
this year.
I agree. No, this is all by the end of the year. We're talking 5 belts, and let's just say on the outshoot that it goes my way, and I get Vladimir Klitschko winning. That's not a bad thing either. Okay, now Vladimir Klitschko, 5 belts, and he gets a second run at heavyweight champion as unified champion. Like, he becomes a legend. You're talking greatest of all time scary stuff if this guy gets another 5 belts around his waist by the end of the year.
No doubt. I hear you.
And the way you and I both know this, he's a top 10 fighter. He'll fight anybody. He just doesn't care. He'll fight until he loses, and that'll be his career. And he has to be argued as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, if he can do it. I think there is so much about that fight this summer between those two guys that makes that exciting, in my opinion. That's the first fight that I've looked at on the schedule where I went, I don't care who wins. That's a great fight.
It's just recently Klitschko has not looked the same. That Tyson Fury fight was a big letdown, and then the Bryant Jennings, he went 12 rounds with a guy who really wasn't a professional fighter either. Bryant Jennings was another football guy that got into boxing in his 20s. He's not taking a tune-up. He's jumping straight back in. Is he just getting the question is he just getting one more payday? Well, he might have the desire to fight still. He might. The boxing ring might not have convinced Klitschko that he's old for this sport. You know what I'm saying? So he might think he still has it. I'm saying when you look at his performances, when you look at his last 2 fights, they haven't been the greatest showings. Where if he brings that same style, that same fight into the Joshua one, should be a pretty easy fight for Anthony Joshua. It is, like you said, Lee, 12 years. He's been fighting the best. He's been on top for 12. Sometimes you wake up and it's not there anymore.
No, you get old.
Anthony.
There's one day you wake up and you are old, and there's not much you can do about it.
Anthony Joshua is going to prove that to Klitschko when they fight. And if Anthony Joshua wins, yes, we're going to have the biggest UK fight in history.
And here's what makes it great. The promoter that's behind it, the way that it's being held, I'm just telling you, boxing will change.
And you know what? The inside story, if you think, is it Eddie Hearn, correct?
Yeah, it's Eddie Hearn.
If you believe if he's the one that went to Showtime to get Anthony on there because he knew that was going to be the link to Al Heyman's Deontay, right?
Yep.
You get the CBS boss on your side. Look at here. We'll give you the Showtime.
Look at what he's done. Yeah, he's brilliant.
It's the greatest move of all time.
He gets them both on the same card.
Network.
He turns he gets all the unification bouts between 2 fights at the first quarter of the year, right? Deontay Wilder can fight before summer. I'm sure they'll schedule it within the next couple of months. Okay? He can go right back into the gym and get it going. Okay? So you're looking at like a November, December unification bout of all 5 titles. Eddie Hearn is brilliant, and he controls all of it in a cross-promotion with PBC in Wembley. Either way. Or let's say on the other end you get Klitschko out of this, right? So now you've got, what's the worst-case scenario? Nobody has a problem working with K2. It still stays in Europe. It's still a multi-million-dollar outdoor stadium fight with all 5 belts on the line. It's all still
it's
Showtime.
With the legend. Now
it's win-win-win.
Now
then
you
it is
switch
a legend.
over to Deontay. Showtime would immediately look at Deontay as, can you imagine if Deontay now is the one that dethrones Klitschko over there in front of 100,000 people?
Sure. Sure. It's